Basically ordered one of everything off the menu. Out of all of them, the worst executed.
I think this is the best executed one.
That's crazy. That's why you should watch Alan Key's vlogs, because otherwise you don't even know what's going on. We went to Win Sun Bakery. Alan was very inspired to try because he saw it in a YouTube video.
Here at the Taiwanese American bakery, Win Sun Bakery. We're gonna eat one of everything on the menu.
By Bon Appetit, where they order one of everything off of the menu and rate them and decide what their favorite item from each section of the menu was. So we're trying to do our own version of that, except the kitchen was closed because we went toward the end of the day. So we were not actually able to get one of everything off the menu. We were only able to get one of everything that had already been made. So we got one chocolate 菠萝包, which is like a pineapple bun, no pineapple in it. One almond red bean twice baked 菠萝包. That's a twice baked.
This is the twice baked.
The twice baked. One red rice donut, one date cake, one nian gao, and one custard toast.
So this is what we want to try right here. So what is this?
That is a 饭团.
Pork
饭团.
饭团.
It looks like pork floss and fried pork on part of it. Mmm. Wait, we got plastic. Texturally, that is a very pleasant surprise. I was not expecting there to be crunch in there. Flavor-wise, though, it's mostly rice. That's like 80% of what I'm tasting right now.
So there's a sauce. There's a little egg I'm seeing, and it's crunchy. It has texture. I do think it's a bit rich in rice though. There's some sauce in there that I couldn't identify.
I think it's a sweet fermented bean sauce.
But overall, I think it's actually pretty good. What would you rate it?
7 out of 10.
Really, I was gonna say 7.75. I'm not gonna lie, it does have a lot of oil in it. That's why it doesn't pass that 8 threshold. I wanna try the donut.
This is the back side. Now this is the front side. Here are our 2 little pieces.
Cheers.
We have to eat like the food vloggers.
What are your thoughts?
It's a really good donut. It's a very hearty donut. There's a good amount of chew, but it's not dense. The texture is really great. I just don't know the flavor. Like, I don't know what red rice tastes like. Have you had red rice? Do you know what that tastes like?
Have you ever had a Krispy Kreme? Was it crispy?
Oh, I actually have.
Do you feel like this tastes like that?
I have no idea. Rice is just like rice.
Yeah,
It's just
exactly.
like made of sweet. It's like asking you like what mochi tastes like. You know, it's like just chewy.
Good donut. What do you think?
I thought the opposite actually. I thought it was a little too dense because chop hoppy, when we ate it, it was very light as compared to that. That was very tough to chew. I also don't know what they're trying to execute, but I can't deny that that was a pretty good donut.
The fact that it's not too sweet, I feel like that was executed really well. All right, on to the next. This one.
Whoa. Okay.
There's stuff inside of it. It's all over the table. That's crazy. Do we try to rescue it from the table? I mean, I just wiped this table down.
See, shout out to my dad because you know what he always says? He always says pick up stuff from the bottom.
Yeah, he's right. Shout out to your father for that. They should make that very clear. If it's top open, then I'm gonna grab it from the top. I think user error was baked into that design.
All right, we're doing it. Cheers. What's your number?
9 out of 10. For me personally, I actually don't like almond that much. And almond is a very forward flavor in this dessert, but the construction of it, how many layers there are, flavors, and how full it is with the red bean. I don't know what the like yellow custard thing was. I don't know what this is. This is like a very ambitious dessert. The bottom pastry is very rich and buttery, and the top one is super flaky. And it's amazing that it's not soggy. They're very generous with the filling. This is very well made.
So I was gonna say 7 out of 10, but with what you said, I think I might increase it to 8 out of 10. I thought it was quite sweet the inside. They're going for a lot here, and I think they executed it quite well. Me personally, flavors I don't like, but I do recognize that it's actually quite delicious. So I wouldn't say 9 is unreasonable. I want to try this set.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, let's go.
So this is the chocolate 菠萝包. These are very high quality desserts. Like, this is so airy and fluffy, and I love that it like kind of bounces back.
Cheers.
Cheers. 8 out of 10.
I'm saying 8.5.
I was between 8 and 9. I think this is so well made. Really great pastry. Like, the technique is really, really phenomenal because this is so fluffy and light, and you can see that they work in layers. Cross section. That's not easy to achieve with like baking and stuff, and the crust of this is excellent. Like, all the different parts that have different textures, it comes through so flawlessly. I really like that the chocolate in here is not sweet, but I just feel like it's very bready and there's almost a little bit too much to have to chew through. Maybe I would have liked it better if the chocolate inside was whipped like a mousse instead of the dense kind of chocolate icing almost that's like settled on the very bottom, because I think that moisture would have worked better with all of the breadiness of the top.
It is very bready, but I mean, what can you do with like a baked good like that, right? Especially if you're trying to get the airiness. There's a crispiness to it. I have to say the chocolate wasn't as sweet. I would have preferred sweeter, but we're not eating a Pillsbury dough cookie. It tastes like one of those croissants with the chocolate in the middle. Their take on the bolo bao though, with the stuff inside, is actually quite unique.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've seen bolo bao with custard in it.
Kamehameha! This is the one I'm really excited to try. When I was younger, I loved French toast. So this is why I think that I will like this a lot. I have no idea what this entails. It does look a little dry, but I'm just excited to try it. Cheers.
Cheers.
You better say your score first, because I need to be influenced right now.
I give it a 7 out of 10. I think out of all of them, this is the one that I'm most disappointed in. The custard on top is good, but this toast is really dense and a little bit dry. It might have gotten denser over time. Maybe if it was like fresh out the oven and hot or whatever, it would have been better. If the layer of custard was thicker to balance that out, it would have been better. Out of all of them, the worst executed.
I ate it and I immediately in my head said 4. I think it was just too dry. You could convince me it's like a pound cake, and I think it'd be good, because then you could say, oh, if it's a pound cake, you're expecting it to be a little spongier, a little denser, a little drier. For a pound cake, this is like phenomenal, like 8.
Let's try it without the crust. Now that piece, that eating experience is completely different. Toward the center, it's so much lighter.
Way lighter. It's not as dense.
I would give that an 8.
I give that a 9.
It was so much better in the center.
That was really good.
I think that would solve a lot of the problems if they just had more custard.
I don't
as
think
kind
so.
of a layer. Really?
Because if you see how you bake it, it needs to be baked with high heat, so it doesn't matter how it...
But I'm thinking they can bake it maybe with some custard, and then they put more custard on top later, and then they just use the torch.
But I think that they're looking for the crispiness of the edges. But in doing so, you inevitably make the pastry dry.
On to the next. This I'm excited for. We're gonna try this one. This is the date cake. It smells like date. You wanna smell it? It smells like dried dates.
I don't know what dates smell like. Whatever they're trying to go for, it definitely smells like that. I don't get dates. Anyways,
No, I
cheers. Let me go first. Wow, that was crazy. Moist. It tasted like a date, I guess. Crispy at the bottom. Kind of melts in your mouth kind of feel. A little chew as well, but pretty decent. And I'm getting some of the date fibers on the top. This is the best executed one. I think this is so great. If I go back here again, I get it again.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with this one. And when I picked it up, it was heavy. This one is dense. Sometimes when they're dense, they're also hard, like rock. But the texture was so moist and so melty. It was like a really indulgent banana bread, but date flavor instead. I think while I was eating it, I was like, I wish they had gone even heavier with the date flavor. I wish there was more. But it's weird because my aftertaste is like, it's as if I just like ate a handful of dates.
The aromatics of it, like,
yeah,
sitting in your mouth.
it's really nice. It feels like a very filling, wholesome dessert while it's not too heavy. Like it's still like light.
This with some tea, Uncle Irish,
Oh,
that'll go dummy.
last one. This is a nian gao.
This is like the most aesthetically pleasing one. I have very low hopes for this. The reason why I think that it's not going to be as great is because it looks too good. The presentation is like a 10 out of 10. Cheers. Cheers. A little lemon in here.
Oh, I love a lemon dessert.
This one's fire for sure. This is really stinking good. It looked dense and hard to cut, but it's chewy. The lemon is very sour. It's actually very nicely paired with like the cream. Sour, not too sweet, but also is kind of like leveled out by the actual cake itself. It's like almost like what the mochi donut was trying to be.
The cake is such a fun texture. I would not call this a nian gao though. All my nian gao lovers out there, they'll know what I'm talking about. Nian gao looks completely different from this, so I think that kind of threw off my expectations. This is so good.
Nian gao.
If we're being honest, this is really just like lemon custard mochi tart.
What would you rate it?
Like a 9 out of 10.
No, this is like 9.5, I would say.
Actually, I give it an 8 out of 10 because I don't think it's accurate to call this a nian gao. And I feel like technique-wise, there's not really anything that like revolutionary or like special going on in here. It's actually a very simple dessert.
I don't know what the heck this is, but they executed it well, and that's why they get a 9.
That's fair. I feel like for me, if you're gonna get a 9, it should be kind of difficult what you're going for, what you're attempting. It should be like an ambitious dessert, and it should also be forward thinking. This one, by comparison, I think it's really delicious. Maybe I'll give it an 8.9 because like flavor, everything I really enjoy, but I'm also very partial to lemon desserts. I feel like it's a little bit of a cop-out. I don't think it's really that revolutionary.
That's crazy. I think taste-wise, it's a 9.
I think our favorite dessert.
This last box is very strong.
The last box in general was really good. This one First favorite, second favorite, probably the date cake.
This is all sponsored by Mish Fan Art. If you guys haven't checked, cheers to
Happy
that.
birthday.
It's her birthday in a few days, so
This is how we're
this is
celebrating.
happy early birthday to her.
Happy birthday to you.
To the vlog.com.
Like I want you